Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Morino Ravenberg here again. I would just like to make a second video on the Goetia. I'm just going to give you guys a down low on the Goetia real quick. This is in reference to the article called "The Goetia Evaluated" or "Evaluation." My evaluation of the Goetia. I hold on for a second. I don't like the way yeah, this is better. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys really quick. That the Goetia itself, anybody that's familiar with the Goetia, okay, can recognize that the Goetia, can recognize that the Goetia is a thingy system. It falls within the boundaries of traditional grimoire magic. So it goes without saying, if you want to summon a spirit of the Goetia, just generally speaking, you don't need to do the things that the Goetia outlines. That's only applicable, or that only applies to that system specifically. Okay, we're talking about that specific system. But obviously, if you're just going to summon a spirit, or you just summon spirits in a normal Western ceremonial magic-y way, the way that I do, you don't need any implements, okay? You don't need a magic circle. You don't need anything. Basically, everything in the Goetia, pretty much, including the attributes of spirits and all of those things, fall within they adhere to, or they fall under the condition, or are subject to the system itself. Okay, so they only apply to the system itself. If for example, I'm just giving an example here. If it says in the Goetia that Asmodeus falls under Amaimon and that he is within the power of the East, blah blah blah, keep in mind that all of these things, they're only valid within the system of the Goetia itself, but not outside. Okay, it's possible that it also falls outside the scope. In my experience, yeah, the talents and the skills that spirits listed in the Goetia are said to possess, they do possess those skills in general, but that doesn't have to be the case. So for example, I can't put my finger on a spirit. There is a spirit in the Goetia which is said to be of a Sagittarian nature, which isn't true, because I myself did research on that spirit and I was like, no, this is not true at all. Okay, this spirit is definitely not Sagittarian. Okay, again, he only falls. The whole Sagittarius deal only applies. To the Goetia itself. So if you are a magician traditionally working, or working within the traditional grimoire fashion or grimoiric fashion, and you have your magic circle with the snake around it and everything, not that it's necessary, you literally do everything by the book, more or less. Only then does it apply. Okay, only then will you have to do things like face the east. I wrote an article on Asmodeus, for example, and I think one of the requirements is that you have to take off your cap. If you are wearing a cap, you need to always stand, and you need to ignore the ringtone, and you need to face the east or something like that. Again, it's not that doesn't apply in reality, okay, or not in reality, but it doesn't apply in a general sense. It only applies within the confines of the Goetic system. If you stand within that circle and you do everything the Goetia says, then yeah, you better do the things that are prescribed by specifically in the terms of Asmodeus' section. You better do everything that it says regarding Asmodeus, as in standing and so on. But again, for the rest, in general, it doesn't apply. Okay, if I were to summon Asmodeus right now, if I wanted to invoke him, I don't need to stand. I can sit. I can do whatever the hell I'd like. Okay, I can invoke him lying down. You name it. He appreciates those things nevertheless. Okay, if you are wearing a cap, just like talking to any person in the physical world is impolite. It's considered impolite to talk to anybody that is talk to anybody by wearing a cap or a headdress on. In that same vein, it's just pure politeness that if you do something as important as summon a spirit, it goes without saying that you need to take off your cap and maybe stand, but standing isn't even necessary. It literally just depends. Okay, if you're someone that does things officially and by the book and so on, but in my personal case, I'm adept to the point where I don't need to do stuff like that. Okay, I can just sit down and I can do my thing. But okay, in any case, the laws of general politeness apply here, and that's simply something that you need to keep in mind. Okay, This doesn't just apply to the Goetia. This also applies to traditional grimoire magic overall. You don't need, just the same way that you don't need any of the implements in general and so on and so forth. Okay, it also goes without saying that you can assume until proven otherwise that the attributes of spirit mentioned that you took out of some magical workbook, some grimoire like the Goetia, that the attributes that are assigned to a spirit, for example, this spirit can make it rain, this spirit can make it snow, that doesn't have to be the case in general. Okay, that only applies, for example, within the confines of the Goetia, or within the confines of that grimoire system that you're utilizing. But that doesn't apply in general. Again, this applies to a bunch of other spirits, okay? I think Belit too and so on. It said that these spirits, I don't know, the Goetia makes some reference to these spirits regarding zodiac signs and so on. I honestly have no idea, but I remember talking to people in the past, other magicians, and I told them, nah, this spirit is not, he's not of that zodiac sign, okay? He falls within that zodiac sign within the Goetia. If you're someone that practices traditional Goetia, Goetic magic, then yeah. But that is not the case in general. I just wanted to throw that out there.